Shalom, 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 Yasha Allah. This is your boy, Brother Shama Allah. Back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Flying Roll. Right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Right? That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, right? Whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, right? And the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and its 100% truth and doctrine to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Just came across this article on my little news app. I believe it's coast to coast, it looks like. So it says, mysterious cylindrical UFO caught on military grade camera. It says UFO shaped like a cylinder is spotted gliding over Montana's Big Sky country, and experts say it is a true mystery, right? And we know that it's not a mystery, right? We're going to get that. It says, in Montana, a mysterious cigar-shaped aerial object was recently captured by a military-grade night vision camera. It says, in the footage shot in June, a cylindrical-shaped object is seen gliding across the sky before moving behind a mountainous area. UFOologist Alejandro Rojas, who serves as an advisor at Enigma Lab, stated that the footage is currently being analyzed by the lab. That's it on that, right? So, as you can see here, it's a picture, right? And you see the little white object. It's like a cylinder, right? And the scriptures talk about that, right? Scriptures talk about, like a cylinder, but it doesn't say a cylinder, right? It talks about like a flying roll, right? That's the title of this lesson. So we're going to get into a couple of precepts, right? And we're going to close it out, right? So just take a look at it, right? And there's been many of sightings of people seeing so-called UFOs that look like they have a cylinder shape, or they call them like a cigar shape, or these different factors, right? There was a video of a guy who was like an ex-military guy, and he said that it was about, what did they say, maybe a half a mile long, and it was a cigar shaped UFO, right? And we know these are actually chariots of Yahawashi, right? Right. So they those are the chariots of Yahawashi, which people are calling UFOs or unidentified flying objects, but they're really identified flying objects, right? Or spacecrafts, right? You can another name for them, right? So let's just get into it, right? Let's get into some scriptures. Like I said, we're not gonna make this too long. I think the first one I want, let's go to Ezekiel, right? Because Ezekiel talked about seeing a similar, or Zechariah. Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah 5, right? So they said it was a cylinder shape, but the guy was a military guy. He said he saw, like I said, it was a half a mile long. He said that it was a cigar shaped, and it landed on the military base. He said when it landed, it was like a small earthquake when it landed, and said it opened up, and it was like, he said all these basically he was saying dark melanated men came out of the ship. They had weapons in their hands, but he said he could remember that their look on their face was like someone who has never been conquered, right? You know, and we know those were, the angels of Yahawashi, right? But he said they were like, I believe he was saying they were maybe like 6 something to 7 feet tall, right? And they had these huge weapons in their hands, and they surrounded around the chariot. It was, I seen it on YouTube, so or was it on YouTube or maybe some article, but you could look that up too. It should be on there, but they said it's a cylinder like object, right? And Zechariah explains it as a flying roll, right? Now, when you think about back in the ancient days, right, they wrote on scrolls, right, which basically, they would write the scriptures, or their books. They would write them and they would roll them up, and it was called like a scroll. Okay, so that's what Zechariah likened, the chariot that he saw in a vision, that he saw, and it looked like a roll. Okay, just similar to the cylinder. Okay, so let's get this. This is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes, and look, and behold, a flying roll. It said, and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. It says, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." Right? And let's just get how big that is. So when you look at the G&T, it says it is 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. Okay, so this was, a pretty nice size chariot, right? Or so-called UFO. That's what they call it, but we know that they're identified. Those are the chariots of Yahawashi, right? So this is what Zechariah is seeing. So it says, and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Now remember, they didn't see, this is the ancient days. So when you're trying to explain something, you can only kind of imagine in the time that you're living in, right? There were no airplanes, stuff like that, right? So you had to liken it like something. Like the scriptures talk about how, when the prophets, when they saw, the missiles, in the future prophecy about Babylon, the missiles hitting, and it said the earth, the heavens were rolled like a scroll, right? Because that's, the thing that they can kind of use as a liken, right? And the scroll is basically talking about the mushroom cloud of the missiles when they hit the earth. When you watch a nuclear impact, right? The cloud of smoke goes up and then it rolls within itself. So they said they likened it like the heavens were rolled as a scroll, okay? Because they kind of intertwined, just like this, how you roll a scroll up into itself. And that's how they explained it, right? And if you can visualize that, you can kind of see that, right? And it says, let's keep reading. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, right? For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it, right? Because these are, these are vehicles of the angels of Yahawashi, right? They fly, in the chariots, right? And one thing too is like a lot of our people, they don't look up. They don't, they're not looking. Our people are always looking down. They're always just looking behind their shoulders. They don't look up and actually see, right? Because you can look up on a clear day sometimes and you'll see, chariots, right? A lot of times they're real high up. You can see them. They look almost like stars, but you'll see them moving. moving around. You'll see them flash in, flash out. Like you'll see all different types, and there's so many different styles, right? These things can camouflage. Like when you read the account with David, fighting against the Philistines, you know, it was a chariot that went ahead of David, and it rustled the tip of the top of the trees, right? And it basically, Yahawashi said, when you hear the rustling of the trees, the top of the trees, just understand that basically the chariots are going forth before you in battle, right? And that's when you know to attack, right? So these things are all scriptural, okay? It's not a mystery, right? And it's come a time where you see right now they're putting a lot of emphasis on UFOs, okay? Because they can't deny it and say that we don't know what it is anymore. It's pretty much time to recognize, right? That these are the angels of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? In their vehicles, right? Which are the chariots. Okay. And understand, this is where the salvation of the elect is coming from. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 31 and verse 5. It says, Isaiah chapter 31, verse 5, it says, as birds flying, so will Yahawah Bahasham El Shai of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Okay? I just want to see let's see the NLT. It says, the NLT says, Yahawah Bahasham El Shai of heaven's armies will hover over Jerusalem and protect it like a bird protecting its nest. He will defend and save the city. He will pass over it and rescue it. Right, but understand, Israel is was the name of the people, right? And right now a lot of our people are gathered here in Babylon, right? A lot of Israel, Yasha Allah is right here in Babylon, right? And we know 2/3 of our people, they're going to have to feel the nuclear destruction, the ICBM missiles. And when Yahawashi comes along with these chariots, right, they're going to have to feel the raft, right, and the repercussions, okay? Because those on these chariots, right, there's weaponry, right, there's laser beams, right. The scriptures talk about they shoot out sparks of tempest. When Yahawashi comes, right, he's going to have weapons on his, right? When you read the book of, I believe it's 2nd Ezra 13, it talks about that, okay? But as birds flying, so will Yahweh Shem Shai defend Jerusalem, right? And Elder Apostle Gabar kind of explained it, where how when you watch birds fly, like say geese, for an example, when you see them fly, there's one in front and then you see the other one's flanked behind it, right? So there's one that leads and then you have the others that follow, right? And that's how it's going to be when Yahawashi returns, right? Because, if you believe it or not, Yahawashi is coming back in a so-called UFO, right? Or, a spacecraft, okay? And he's going to be leading the pack, and you're going to have the other angels behind him, right? And he's coming with a whole host of army, right? The scriptures tell you, what is that? Let's go to the book of Psalm 68, verse number 17. It says, the chariots of the Heavenly Father are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and Yahawah Bahasham El Shai is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Okay, so the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham El Shai, they're 20,000, even thousands. Okay, it's gonna be a whole slew of them. All right, and they're coming right to pay back, And ultimately, you know, when Yahawashi comes, he's coming to gather his elect from the four winds of the earth, right? And they're going to be gathered in his huge spacecraft, right? His huge UFO or whatever you want to call it. Let's get this real quick. Let's actually go to it. Esdras, you know, saw, you know, Yahawashi in his chariot. Okay, let's get that. Let's see. Just get to the point. Let's see. Let's go to verse 6. Second Esdras chapter 13 and verse 6. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 5, right? Because this is going to be, you know, at that point where Yahawashi, you know, when he returns, he's coming, you know, right before the missiles hit Babylon and turn this place into the lake of fire, right? And the angels, they're going to be shooting, you know, the laser beams out of their UFOs or their so-called UFOs, the chariots of Yahawashi Shai, to make sure this place is utterly destroyed, right? But then they're going to, you know, they're going to be also, you know, it talks about the war in heaven, right? Because during this time it's going to be World War III, and you're going to have all these nations that are going to be fighting against each other, and they're going to stop, and they're going to fight. They're going to try to fight against Yahawashi, right? And the angels. Okay, the Lord is going to put it on their heart, right? When you read this right here, this is Second Esdras chapter 13 and verse 5. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea," right? And out of that sea is talking about out of space, right? Because the space is considered like a sea. It's when you look at the elements, okay? So it says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it." Who is this man that came out that's talking about Yahawashi, right? And he came out of the heavens, right? He came out of space. You know, he entered. Okay. And it says, "And beheld, lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." Okay, because you know you see that the UFOs is like a mountain, right? And it was huge. It says, verse 7, it says, "But I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not," right? Because it was so big. Like Yahawashi's chariot is humongous. Okay, it's going to be humongous, right? So just imagine that, and then you're going to have other ships, you know, basically spaceships with with angels in them, and you know they're going to be, you know, at war with the nations, right, in the air. Okay, that's what that's talking about. The war in heaven is talking about in the air. You know, they're going to be, you know, Esau and these other nations. They're going to have their little, you know, F-16s and stealth this and whatever that, right? And they're going to be trying to fight against. If you could just imagine, like Independence Day, right? But at this Independence Day, these spacecrafts that the Yahawashi Shai, right, and the angels are in, they're indestructible. These are spiritual vehicles, right? These things, if you watch videos, they can go into volcanoes, they can go into the ocean. I mean, pretty much anywhere, right? They can disappear, appear, they can look like a cloud, like an actual cloud, right? But they're likened to all these different things, like a mountain. Okay? So I just wanted to get that real quick. So the one that Yahawashi is coming back in is huge. Okay? Let's get one more. I don't want to make this too long. Let's see. Let's go to they're liking like a wheel. Matter of fact, let's get that one. Right? Because it said it was the military, you know, on a military camera. So let's get Amos 9 and verse number 8, right? This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. It says, behold, the eyes of Yahawah Yahawashi, thy power, are upon the sinful kingdom, right? And how, what are those eyes? Through the angels, right? They'll be in these chariots, right? And they're observing, they're watching the things that are going on, right? And they're reporting these things back, you know? But it says, behold, the eyes of Yahawah Yahawashi, the Most High Power, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saying, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahawah Yahawashi, right? Because when Yahawashi comes, he's coming for vengeance and destruction, but he's also coming for deliverance, and the deliverance, of the elect. Okay, so he's coming to gather and save his people, his sheep, right? Yahawashi said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me, right? He also says in Matthew 24 and 30, or is it 31? Here we go. 30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, right? Because he's coming from the heavens, right? He's coming from the sky. It says, then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, right? And those clouds are talking about the chariots, right? And you see that Ezra saw that he was coming in a huge cloud that looked like a mountain. So it was a huge spacecraft, right, of the heavens with power and great glory, right? I'm gonna go back to that, but I want to get this one in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7, right? It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, right? This is talking about Yahawashi again coming. And that cloud is talking about the chariot, right? And these chariots come in all different types of shapes, right? And you see the one that was on here said it looked like a cylinder, right? And that was the same likeness that Zechariah saw, what it looked like a flying roll, right? When you look at a roll or a scroll, it's just like a piece of paper that's like rolled up, right? That's how it looks, like a cylinder. It says, Revelation chapter 1, verse 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen, or so let it be, right? But you see, all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, right? When they see him coming, they are going to be scared, crapless, right? They see Yahawashi come, right? Let's go back to that Matthew 24, verse number 30. Let's read it again. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. See, it's saying the same thing. It says, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. It says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So when Yahawashi comes, he's coming to save, those of the elect, right? Because not all Israel is going to escape this judgment, especially in Babylon, right? 2/3 of our people here, of the Israelites, they're going to perish here in Babylon. Okay, but the third, right, and the elect, they're going to be delivered up into the chariot, right, and they're going to be in Yahawashi's chariot, that huge chariot. It's so big, right? There's going to be, it's still a lot. When you think about as many people, as many Israelites as there is, the scriptures say that they're like the sand of the sea, right? So you're going to need a huge chariot, because there's still going to be a lot of people, but there's going to be a whole lot of people, 2/3 of our people plus everyone, the nations and the heathens who are here in Babylon, they're going to be utterly destroyed. Okay, so these chariots, they're doing recon. They're looking. They're watching these things. You know, they're watching what's going on the earth. You know, they're ready. You know, you can see them. You know, doing formations. You know, they're preparing themselves. Right, they are ready. They're ready for the call. You know, when that day comes, you know, it's gonna be glorious. You know, it's gonna be glorious. Matter of fact, what is that? Lucky, I'm just looking at my notes. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Let's get to the point. Oh man, Salakia. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse 2. Start at verse 1. It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face as have afflicted him. It says, and made no account of his labors. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they have looked for. Right? Because nobody's expecting, you know, when Yahawashi returns that it's gonna look like an alien invasion, right? And that's why, you know, these government officials and all they keep talking about aliens, and you know they have the space force and they have this thing, and they know Yahawashi is coming from the space. They know he's coming from the heavens, right? And that's why they're doing this, and they're gonna make people kind of think that that's what's going on, but really it's a dark melanated man along with the host of angels who are dark melanated men, right? And they're coming to save, you know, the elect of Israel, you know, from the four winds of the earth and from Babylon, and they're going to destroy this place, and they're going to destroy these other you know, armies and stuff, and they're going to basically take over, man. And that's when our rulership takes over, you know, starting with Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right on down. So, yeah, you know, just a little quick little exhortation, you know, that cylinder, it's talked about, right? It's not a UFO. We know it's the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? And they're coming to visit this place, right? They're doing the recon and they're watching, they're counting, they're making tab because this place is about to be utterly destroyed, okay? So Lord's will, this was edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kohala Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, peace and blessings, right? To the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, a mighty shalom to the 144,000 men, right? And to the rest of the elect, stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying, keep looking up, man, right? And watch, you know. The scriptures say, you know, look up for your salvation draweth nigh. Okay, and with that, I want to say shalom.